Hi everyone, my name is Lorena. Welcome. Today I'm doing a video about toys, specifically toys between the age of 0 to 4 months. I have a 3-month-old baby and these are toys that we're currently using with her. These are toys that I'm actually reusing from my toddler. I learned a lot from my toddler my first time around. As a first-time mom, I was clueless as to what I needed to introduce to my baby at first. And it was more like she was about a month old when I really was grasping like, oh, this is the sequence of toys that I should follow, and that I had a better understanding. And so I wanted to give you this information so you can help your baby meet those developmental milestones with these specific toys. So first off, one of the best toys that I used for my newborn, and that was actually a lifesaver gift that we just got randomly from one of my husband's co-workers that gave us a ton of hand-me-down toys, was this rattle. It looks like a little dumbbell for babies, but it's super soft, super lightweight. And this is one of the first toys that I first introduced to my toddler when she was, I think, like a month old. Just when my husband had gone back to work, he came back and he brought me a bunch of toys, and this was one of them. And I was so grateful at that time because I actually wasn't really prepared that first time around. I wasn't really prepared what I was going to give my baby as her first toys or as she was growing. And at that 1 month mark, I wasn't really 100% prepared. And so this is one of the toys we received from that co-worker and that she loved. Also, at that time, started to read a lot about Montessori. And so I really learned that we wanted to give our babies passive toys versus very active toys. And by that, I mean toys with a lot of lights and with a lot of sound. They seem to be just very overwhelming for your baby, and in reality, it's not doing anything for them. In reality, they're just mesmerized and staring at that toy that's playing that music or shining that light, and they're not really learning anything. They're not really learning any skill. And by that, I mean we don't want those active toys, and instead we want to give them these passive toys that will help and encourage your baby to be more independent and to explore and to actually gain skills from them. I really wasn't aware of that because growing up in my culture, I have noticed that we give them very toys with a lot of sound and toys with a lot of lights. And even my mom got me some toys with a lot of light and sound, and I was kind of like, oh no, she's giving me these toys already. And it's mainly because we don't know and we're not educated, right? We think like, oh, the baby's fuzzing. If we put this shining toy in front of it, the baby's gonna stop crying. That was basically my mom's mentality that got passed down to me. And luckily, because of this newsletter at like week 1, I was able to like reset my brain and search for other toys that were actually better for my baby. And so this was one of them. And I think in that newsletter they were suggesting the Love Every box, and I immediately fell in love. So it is very helpful to get this Love Every box, and they guide you all the way through. They have a little pamphlet, more like a booklet, that explains to you what is the purpose of each toy and what else how you can encourage your baby using the toy. And just in general, it has a ton of information. So I would highly recommend, if you can get a subscription of the Love Every box, I would highly recommend it. I know there's a few other ones there now that follow the Montessori approach. I haven't used any of the other ones. I'm sure they're great. I used the Love Every, and I ordered this Play Gym at month 2. And it was great. I loved it. I saved it. All of the toys are from Love Every are easy to maintain and easy to take care of. And so they basically like knew at that time, that 2-month mark, just at the end, they start producing a lot of saliva and they start getting curious about things in their mouth, and so they want to put everything in their mouth. They're not coordinated enough. And so if you have one of those banana, I didn't bring it up with me, but I'll link it below, those banana like teething toys, that's something that can soothe them and that can help them. They're not teething at this point. It's very, very early. It would be I think it's really rare if your baby is actually teething at this point. It's just normal. It's part of the developmental process of that time that they're learning and producing a lot of saliva, and that they want to put everything in the mouth and want to touch different texture. And so this is one of the early textures that you can provide for your baby. Like I said, it's a nice grip. This is a nice grip too. They'll be putting it in their mouth a lot, and it's easy since it's a fabric to just put it in the washer and give it back to your baby. One of the other toys that I learned that it's not, I haven't seen it on a Montessori list, but that I do like is these plastic rings. I did want to introduce plastic to my baby. I know it's not the most healthy for them. This is actually, you can find these on Amazon. They have a packet of, I can't remember the quantities. Like I said, I kept them for my first baby, but I'll link it below. And basically, I'll reach over in a second. These links can add a ton of the links together, and you can actually put this in the stroller. And if you want to attach this maybe to this on the stroller, so you know that your baby is not going to lose it when you're out and about. This is to me a precious toy. Like I said, I kept it from my toddler because it's just great, and I knew that we were going to have more babies, and so this is something that I wanted to keep. And so I bought these links so they could be attached to the stroller, and if we were going out, I knew that if she let go of it, I wasn't going to lose it. So this links I would highly recommend. And just as a beginner toy, I also just offer one of these to my baby. As you can see, they have some kind of texture, and she would love them. She would put them in her mouth all the time. Even if you forget the toy for some reason, and you have these attached to your stroller, it would be something nice for them to entertain with while you're out and about. I wouldn't go and get the cheapest available on Amazon. I would actually look and see who the manufacturer is if you want to look into different one of these. But I'll link the one that I used. I'll go back to my history and see which one it was that I used. Like I said, there's a lot of these on Amazon, but just make sure you get one from a reliable source, so that you can attach these to the rings as you're going along out and about, so you don't lose your toys. So these things are going to be used for month 2. It's gonna be when they want to start grasping things. You want to start introducing it to them, and these are really easy for their little fingers to get, and really soft. They're not going to hurt themselves. One other thing you want to introduce to them from day 1 are the black and white cards, something that are very high in contrast. For my baby, that's what we basically did, as we would put her down, laying down to start tummy time, or just to be lounging. So you want to provide high contrast images to your baby so that they're able to start focusing and just concentrating on the images. Because of the high contrast, it'll be easier for them, and it helps them make the connection between the brain and the eyesight. So it makes all those connections for your baby internally. That's what you're working when you're giving your baby a high contrast image from week 1. I know that some babies are very sleepy at this point, but when they are awake and you are talking to them and then putting them down for a bit so that they get a little bit of free range movement and a little bit of independent movement, that you supply them these high contrast images. Also with these toys, you can use it to attract your baby so that they have better eye coordination, so you can move it from one side to the other, and then you'll see that your baby starts turning your head, or moving your eyeballs. And that's basically what you want to do with the toys that make noise. But like I said, you don't want to be with flashy, loud toys. You want to be with something soft like this, and you can move from side to side, and your baby would be interested and would follow the toy. So that helps with the eyesight. The black and white cards, high contrast cards, you can basically put those anywhere in the changing table. I have it here in the mat. The Love Every box 3 to 4 months provides this mirror that from one side is a mirror, one side is a high contrast board. So that board is perfect for that first month. For that second month, you can turn it around and it has the mirror. They'll love the mirror. They'll love to look at themselves. And at the 2-month mark is when they start actually smiling. So that helps them a lot. When they see another baby, they don't know that it's themselves, but when they see another baby, they smile, and you can talk to them while you stare at the mirror yourself. and they just have a really good time with the mirror. And then if you have the Love Every mat or another mat that has a high contrast ball, would be also very nice, and they can start batting something like this, a toy. This was her very first thing that she started batting at, and after she was getting good with this ball, I started using this one that has a little bit more sound. It also comes with this one right here, and it dangles, and so they can start grabbing it once they're reaching that 3-month mark. And at the 3-month mark, then you want to give them something like this, and like I said, all types of different rings, so that they're able to grab it, able to put it in their mouth, because that's mainly what they're going to want to be doing. They're going to be putting everything in their mouth. And do give it to them. Don't worry about are they going to hurt themselves. They're really not going to hurt themselves. They're really forming muscles in their mouth, and it helps them with just the speech. It's very good that they put different kind of textures in their mouth, so don't just stick to one thing. Try to give them different other textures so that they experiment and they get to just play with that. Next, you want to move with something like this, similar to this one. It makes noise. Once they really have more grasp, they'll be interested in touching it, and the sound and the texture of it. Something that like this comes in the Love Every box. Like I said, I got a lot of my toys from the Love Every box, and in addition to that, this is one of the ones we got. This is from Manhattan Toys, and they're really easy to clean, toys like these, and because they're very thin and they has many of these like loops, it's really easy for your baby to grab, and it makes noise, so there'll be a catch their attention. And basically this is one of the first toys also that you can introduce and that they'll put in their mouth. It's easy to clean, and this one is a very trusted brand, the Manhattan Toy. So you know it's not going to have toxics for your baby. And then as they start getting to that 3 or 4 month mark, this is another one. This one's a lot heavier, and actually I didn't give this to my first baby really early on at the 3-4 month mark. I think it was more closer to the end of the 4th month mark, because I actually found this to be heavy in contrast to this. I just let her touch it, but I don't think she was really into this one because it was a lot heavier. But these are good for encouraging them to roll over. So this is one that you can roll from side to side, the cylinder. And it catches their attention, and it's something that you can use for them to be attracted to start rolling over. So these are what I use for that. And once they really get good with their hands, this is one of the staples from Montessori. I forgot what it's called. I'll link it below. Spinner, I can't remember what it's called. But this is one of the, like I say, it's staples from Montessori, because this if they're able to play with this and manipulate this, that means that they have really good hand coordination at this point. You can also spin it and play with it in many other ways to again encourage your baby to roll over and meet those other milestones for that age. So these are basically it. And if you do get a subscription to the Love Every, they give you bags like these, where you can store them and you can easily travel with them or have them in the car. Basically, if you can have this mat, it would be great. If not, get another very simple mat that's not too flashy, so that you help your baby digest all the colors and all the information that is applied with the mat. So you don't want to overwhelm your baby with too much color. Every corner has like a different activity for them, and this one has here the black and white cards, and it also has some sliding mirror cards. So this is how I organize my toys. I have something like this, a basket downstairs by the couch, and we have Sophie the giraffe is one of the other toys that I highly recommend, because they'll want to put a lot of things in their mouth, and this one's really soft. These soft books as well, if you can have these handy. You get one soft book with the Love Every subscription, and this one is from the Manhattan Toy Company. So I highly recommend the Manhattan Toy Company products as well. I know that we have this one and this one from them. They have a bunch of other toys that are really great quality. So if you can also splurge on that brand, they have really good things that I highly recommend. Yeah, so having something like this helps you contain everything together and helps you be a little more organized, just like a little tip. This one too, you can have one in your bedroom, one in the living room, have different toys so you don't lose them and put them back. So this helps contain all the toys while they're in that stage. So I hope you enjoy this video and you give this video a thumbs up. If you can subscribe to the channel, I'll be making more videos. I haven't decided what other range of age I'll be doing next, but I think it's really important to start really early on having the right toys. So I wanted to make this video to basically pass on my experience and what I learned and what really works for them, and helped Juliet, my first daughter, the first time around. And so yes, I'll be making more videos about other toys as they grow older and just other baby stuff related in general. So if you guys want to follow along, subscribe. I'll see you until next time. Bye.